Hello, my name is Ms. Smirnoff, and this is an introduction to Western literature course. So to tell you a little bit about myself first, I love reading, especially science fiction and historical fiction. I have taught English for more than 8 years in Russia, China, and the United States. And I've traveled to more than 20 countries. And hopefully we'll travel many more in the future. The picture you see below here is me with some students from the college where I teach now, and we're on a field trip at a zoo. So that was a really fun time, and I'm in the center there. Okay? So that's about me, and just to introduce this course, I want you to take a look at this picture, and I want you to think about why I chose this picture to show you, since the class is called Introduction to Western Literature. So you might tell me that this is a famous character from a classical Chinese story called The Monkey King. And just like there are characters in Chinese classical literature, there's also a lot of different characters and stories coming from Western literature, which is what I would like to introduce you to in this course. So why do we study classical stories? We say that they're timeless, which means they're relevant in all time periods, which means we can relate to them now as just the same as we could relate to them hundreds of years ago. They're essential to understanding a culture. So if you're studying Western culture, you need to know these kinds of stories. Classical stories bring to life characters of people who are just like us, so we can relate to them. They are real people, and they always teach us important life lessons and build a strong literary foundation for future reading. So this is some of the reasons why we read these kind of stories. So here are some classical characters, and I would like you to just type in and describe for me what you see in this picture. So you might tell me that these are 5 students, 5 children, and you might tell me that some of them look a little bit mean and maybe not so nice. You might tell me that they are different. And if I asked you about some of the themes in this story, you might tell me maybe friendship or growing up or overcoming some obstacles or situations. And this story is actually, this picture is from a story called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is one of the books that we will read in this semester. Okay, another picture here is another famous story from The Wizard of Oz. So as you can see, we have 4 very different characters, but probably if I ask you if they're friends, you might say, yes, they're friends, even though they're quite different from each other. And again, this is an important theme from classical literature, which is friendship. And that's another book that we will read this semester. So speaking of themes, this is a word that we use throughout English classes. And it's a very important word to know and to think about. A definition is particular subject or issue that is often present throughout the story. Some examples of classical themes, as you can see here on the screen, we have family, friendship, love, kindness, trust, destiny, honor, forgiveness, bravery, overcoming obstacles or difficulties, honesty, revenge, respect, and finding happiness. And there are many other themes, but these are some of the more common ones that we'll cover. So then coming back to this picture, I want you to think about what are some themes in this story of the Monkey King. Some of you might say that a theme in the story would be bravery, or overcoming difficulties, or going on great adventures. And also I would say that maybe some of the themes, other themes, are love and friendship, loyalty, and other themes of that nature. So here's a book that we might read this semester. It's called Cinderella. As you can see, there are 3 different book covers that I chose to show you because I wanted to show you that there are many, many different versions of the story that have come throughout time. And the book has been around for over 100 years, maybe more. And so this is a good example of a classical story that we're going to see. Another book that I wanted to introduce you to is Peter Pan. So as you can see too, there are 3 different covers that show totally 3 different things, but the story is the same. And another is the characters that we just talked about, which are Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You can see all of these books have since been made into many, many movies, and they are still extremely popular even now after such a long time, because they are truly classical stories. Okay, so just briefly to cover the course outline, we'll be doing some reading skills, which is scanning for specific information, and comprehension questions. So these kinds of questions you can actually find inside the text, inside the book. Then there are also other reading skills, which are making inferences from the text. So thinking about your own reaction, or what you think the author means by what he's saying, kind of reading between the lines. Learning vocabulary from sentence and paragraph context is a very extremely important skill that you must have. And so that is guessing the word from the words around it. Okay, so we have a set of skills that I want to teach you in this class, and that is making text to self, text to text, and text to world connections. So basically making connections between yourself, between the book and yourself, between the book and something you read or seen, and between the text and the entire world, or what's happening around the world. And finally, connecting reading and writing skills. So we'll be practicing summarizing and paraphrasing, as well as finishing the course with writing a complete essay called the response style essay. Any questions? So I just wanted to say one more time that this course will be interactive, and I will expect you to answer some questions. As I put on the slide the questions, I would like everyone to take the time and think about the response, and either I will ask you to answer me, or I will ask you to type in the chat option what your response is. So that way everyone can participate and enjoy themselves and share opinions with each other. So thank you for your time.